Hi, everyone. I'm Carrie Pena, and this is a Modigent quarterly update. We are back in studio now with Dan Bueschel, the CEO of Modigent, and also Chris Schulken, who is the regional president of the Southeast region. So good to have both of you here.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Dan, lots of headlines. Let's start there. Q2 headlines.
Yep, Q2. So great revenue quarter. We exceeded last year by about 15%. Earnings match, so double-digit earnings on that 15% revenue growth. We set a record in sales, so we had $400 million, cumulative of both quarters, but basically a $400 million sale point at the end of the quarter. We have been working diligently on our safety performance, and as at the end of the quarter, we had a 0.39 total recordable incident rate, and I mention that only because it's the most it's the highest performance safety metric in any company that I've seen in this industry in 40 years.
Wow.
It's an amazing achievement for the business. So we're really proud of that. We continue to work on our digitization platform, and we're also highly acquisitive at the moment.
What do you think is driving all of the growth?
For us, as an individual organization, we've had a couple of breakthroughs this quarter. We signed a large site services contract to maintain a major metropolitan airport HVAC systems with resident services, so people on site full time.
Yeah,
and that brought 50 new people to the organization that are solely dedicated to this particular contract. So that's been driving our growth. We've had great expansion across all of our opcos, just in general growth relative to sales, and then of course Rich Energy and bringing the energy firm onto the team has driven a significant amount of opportunity for us in the organization. And acquisitions is always a part of our growth, but really, as you think about it right now, we are maturing as we get larger, and we are more focused now on driving performance through our existing operating companies as opposed to acquiring. So we're experiencing a significant amount of organic growth that we've always had. But our focus is moving more towards the organic side of our business as we start to build. We built out the regional footprint that we expected to build, and so we are continuing to acquire strategically, but also focusing on organic growth now.
And Chris, I want to move over to you now, and I just pick up where Dan's left off here, and talking about the talent recruitment, because you're running a hot region.
We've got 6 companies that are throughout the Southeast, and part of our biggest challenge, right, is making sure that we're able to develop our folks. So an initiative for us, even in the second half of the year, is the development of our employees, and one of them is getting them enrolled in the apprentice program. We just recently met with 3 of the opcos, and we're very excited about getting enrolled in the program. And the other thing that came out of all that was also making sure that we are creating career ladders and better development plans for all our field employees and our office folks, which really creates better employee satisfaction.
Yeah.
And I think we've done it, but we haven't done a great job at it. So I think being very intentional about that going forward really will help us with employee satisfaction and employee development, which is key for the war on talent, so to speak. Ideally, when you look at the success of the Southeast, when I look at Q2 and really the first half, I think one starts with safety. I think the other piece is recruiting. Dan talked about growth and making sure that we have a war on talent, and we've got a recruiting team that helps us add talent in the different opcos. And so over the first half, we added about 22 new employees. 8 of those were service techs, because service growth is a big initiative for us.
Okay, VMG Mechanical.
So this was a big one for us, and I would say it's big on a couple of different fronts. The one, we have a strategy for Florida, right, and that is to kind of fill in the geography. And so we have a company in Tampa, IC Mechanical, which is a full-service HVAC mechanical business with service business. They also do engineering, design, build. They have a sheet metal capability. But ideally, they're just in Tampa. So we said, okay, how do we grow the Florida market? And so we've been looking in Orlando for about 3 years. We just couldn't find the right fit. And I would say typically in my 3 years with the company, the companies that we've acquired are typically, they've been in business 10 years plus. They're a little bit larger, but we just couldn't find the right fit. So we came upon VMG. He had only been in business 3 years, but they had some significant growth over that time. And Larry Turnage, the president of VMG, had done a nice job of putting together a really good team. So we decided to take a chance on a smaller company, newly established, because Larry did a great job with his team. The culture was fantastic. They had a growth mindset. So ideally, we said, okay, let's take a chance on VMG and add them to the team. And they've been on board 3 months, and the first 3 months have been absolutely fantastic.
And Dan, as we round things out, looking at the last half of the year, Kind of what's your forecast?
So the back half of the year, we're going to continue to be acquisitive in the marketplace. We've got technology deployments that I mentioned earlier that we're going to continue to drive, integrating the Rich Energy platform, and driving the apprenticeship program. So those are the four big goals for the organization, and we're off to a great start. I think we'll have a great finish to the year.
Thank you both so much for being here. I appreciate it. And it's always exciting to hear what's coming next. So thank you all so very much for joining us. I'm Carrie Pena. This is a Modigent Quarterly Update.